Thank you for watching our standard operating procedures video. My name is Chaz, and today I'm going to walk you through properly deploying the 4-foot muscle wall in a flood control scenario safely and effectively. When deploying the muscle wall system, there's a few items we recommend having on hand prior to the installation process. A trash pump with its hoses, a shovel, a few sandbags per wall, a lifting dolly, a hammer, a measuring tape, a knife, big gap filler foam, marking paint, Gorilla tape, string, and gloves. A trencher is also recommended if the walls are deployed on dirt. To begin depalletizing the muscle wall, remove the safety strap that is connecting the walls to the pallet. Start at the top bundle of the pallet by removing the upside down wall first. Slightly lift the wall up to disconnect the bundle and lower the wall using proper lifting techniques. When removing the upright wall of the bundle, slide the wall to the front of the pallet, gently lower the wall to the ground. For the subsequent upside down walls of each bundle, gently lower the walls to its back, place hands on the side of the wall, and gently lower to the ground. When putting the wall in place, it's important to make sure that the toe of the muscle wall is always facing towards the water. Once you've set your first wall in place, to begin connecting the walls, you're going to use the male connector on one side of the wall and a female connector on the corresponding wall. These will slide in together to secure the walls. When lifting the walls, you always want to ensure proper lifting techniques. It's best to gently tilt the wall back, place one hand underneath the wall and one on the back side. When lifting the wall in place, it's easiest to rest it on the corresponding wall and adjust your grip if necessary, then slide the wall back until it falls into the joint and slide the wall down to make sure not to damage the product as well as have a secure connection. The walls have a 22-degree range of motion, 11 degrees forward and 11 degrees backwards. But there may be situations when you need more radius or more of a turn. We have a corner unit that allows you to go 90 degrees. The corner uses the same system as the walls with the same connections. You simply lift the walls up, put it on, and gently slide it into place just as you would if it were a wall. The corners are unique, they can go both forwards and backwards. So if you have a desire to go outside, you can pull the wall off, flip it upside down, and set it into place just the same. Once the walls have been set in place, you can begin to fill them with water at that time. There are 2 holes on the top of each wall that will allow for the hose to be placed inside to fill the walls with water. Part of the system, we use 2 safety straps for each connection. We install the safety straps through the kiss screws located here and here, and in the middle of the wall, here and here. 2 people are best, just insert through the kiss screw, and the other person will put it back through the other side. At this point in the installation, we're going to leave the bottom strap unstrapped and only secure the top strap. The bottom one will be used to secure the liner later on in the installation process. Strapping the corner is very similar to strapping the walls. The main difference is rather than having the top strap come to the top kiss screw, both straps are going to connect here at the middle kiss screw of the wall. To properly install a liner will vary depending on the surface. In this video, we will cover properly installing the liner on cement and asphalt, grass, and dirt. Generally, the liner is rolled or folded. Begin deploying the liner by unfolding or rolling the liner out in front of the toe of the wall and pulling the liner with 2 or 3 people up and over the wall until it reaches the ground on the back side of the muscle wall. Cut holes in the liner on the back side of the wall where the straps are coming through the kiss screws. The slit should be horizontal to the ground, approximately 3 inches in length. Use extreme caution anytime cutting the liner. Pull the straps through the holes in the liner and ratchet them down. Before securing the front of the liner, it's important to make sure that there's no gap between the liner and the wall itself. Have someone walk along the toe of the wall to press the liner up against it firmly, and someone else place a sandbag on top of the toe to make sure that it remains tight and secure. Make sure to do this process to the entire wall before securing the liner down. Before applying the foam, place a solid row of sandbags approximately a foot from the edge of the liner. It's recommended to run a chalk line at the front edge of the liner as a reference for applying the foam. Peel back the front edge of the liner, apply 2 lines of foam, one just inside of the chalk line and the other 3 to 4 inches inside. Once the individual applying the foam has applied 10 to 15 feet, the next person can begin by replacing the liner over the top of the foam and rolling the continuous line of sandbags over the top, just over the front edge of the liner to create the watertight seal. When deploying the muscle wall system on any type of dirt or soil, we recommend, in order to gain a watertight seal, using the trenching method. A trencher is also recommended to use to dig the trench, generally 18 inches deep and 1.5 to 2 feet in front of the wall. This trench should run the entire length of the wall. Roll the liner out, pull the liner up and over the wall. Cut holes in the liner on the back side of the wall where the straps are coming through the kiss screws. The slit should be horizontal to the ground, approximately 3 inches in length. Use extreme caution anytime cutting the liner. Pull the straps through the holes in the liner and ratchet them down. Fold back the liner in the front over the trench, approximately the amount of liner desired to go into the trench. At this point, have someone walk along the toe of the wall to get rid of any tenting and make sure that the liner is flush against the wall. Unfold the front edge of the liner and place in the trench. Backfill the trench and compact the dirt. In some situations, it may be necessary to bring in extra dirt to completely fill the trench. Place a sandbag along the toe of the wall, approximately 1 bag per wall. When deploying muscle wall on grass and trenching is not desired, we recommend using the lawn stake method as a quick and easy alternative for securing the liner. Begin deploying the liner by unfolding or rolling the liner out in front of the toe of the wall and pulling the liner with 2 or 3 people up and over the wall until it reaches the ground on the back side of the muscle wall. Cut holes in the liner on the back side of the wall where the straps are coming through the kiss-throughs. The slit should be horizontal to the ground, approximately 3 inches in length. Use extreme caution anytime cutting the liner. Pull the straps through the holes in the liner and ratchet them down. Before securing the front of the liner, it's important to make sure that there's no gap between the liner and the wall itself. Place a sandbag along the toe of the wall, approximately 1 bag per wall. A few inches in from the front edge of the liner, place a lawn stake every 6 inches through the liner and into the ground along the length of the wall. There will be situations when 2 liners need to be seamed together. In this case, overlap one of the liners over the top of the other approximately 4 to 5 feet. Using the Gorilla Tape, start at the top of the seam and run the tape the length of the seam all the way to the ground. Repeat this process 2 more times for a total of 3 strips running the length of the seam. Cut 2-foot lengths of tape, place them perpendicular to the seam, beginning at the top of the wall and running the length of the seam all the way to the ground. Remove sandbags from off the front of the liner. Properly dispose of any contaminated sand and/or sandbags. Disconnect the straps, roll up and place in the storage container. Remove liner from the wall and fold for future installations. There are 2 possible options for removing water from inside of the wall. The first is the bung plug on the back side of the muscle wall. We have provided a bung plug wrench that allows you to unscrew the bung plug on the back side of the wall to release the water from inside. The second option is to use a trash pump to suck the water out, which will allow you to control the flow of the water as well as potentially clean up any debris along the way. To disconnect the wall, place 1 person on each side. Using the provided lifting dowels, place 1 dowel through the kiss-through closest to the joint and 1 dowel through the 3rd kiss-through. In rhythm, lift the wall until it is completely free of the connection and safely lower to the ground. Be sure to always exercise proper lifting technique when moving the walls. If foam was used during the installation, scrape up as much as possible, sweep and collect to dispose of accordingly. Use a pressure washer to spray and clean up any remaining residue. When restacking the 4-foot muscle walls, 12 units go on 1 pallet. Always make sure that the male and female ends are all on the same side. Before moving the pallets, make sure that the strap is tight and secure and that the walls are all even. When stacking the walls on the pallet will consist of bundles of 2 walls. Each bundle will have a wall that is placed upright, with the second wall being upside down, resting on the toe of the wall, and when properly secured will snap into place. Once the pallet has been completed, run a safety strap up and over the walls to secure the walls to the pallet.